Humanity had waited for this moment for a very long time. For centuries, people dreamed of living on another world. Now, at last, their dream had come true. A great ship had carried brave men and women far from Earth. They had built the first colony on a new planet. It was called New Hope. New Hope was a small world, far away in a quiet part of space. The air was thin but breathable. The ground was rocky, but plants were growing. The colonists worked hard every day to build homes, farms, and research labs. They sent messages back to Earth telling stories of their new life. The people on Earth watched the news with pride and hope, but no one knew what waited in the dark space beyond New Hope. One peaceful morning, as the sun rose over the Rocky Mountains, alarms suddenly screamed across the colony. The sky darkened. With strange shapes, hundreds of ships appeared out of nowhere. They were not like any human ships. They were sharp, dark, and moved fast like deadly birds of prey. The colony had no time to prepare. The alien fleet attacked without warning. Bright beams of light tore through the sky, destroying buildings, farms, and power stations. People ran in every direction, screaming for their lives. The sounds of explosions and fires filled the air. The colonists tried to fight back with their small defense systems, but they were no match for the alien ships. One by one, the colony's defenses fell. The great hope of humanity was crumbling before their eyes. Back on Earth, millions watched the live feed from the colony. The images were shocking. The bright blue and green planet was now covered in fire and smoke. The news anchor's voice trembled as she said, "The colony has been destroyed. We do not yet know the full number of casualties." Panic spread quickly. People on Earth feared the worst. Was this an attack on just the colony, or a sign that Earth itself was next? Governments called emergency meetings. Scientists and soldiers worked day and night to understand the enemy. But the alien fleet had vanished as suddenly as it had come. Just when hope seemed lost, a strange message arrived on Earth. It was a short text with no sender's name. The words were chilling. "This is just the beginning." No one knew what to make of it. Was it a warning? A threat? Or something more? The message sent shockwaves through the world. People asked many questions. Who sent the message? Why did they attack the colony? What did they want from humanity? And what was coming next? Among those watching the news was a young pilot named Jack Turner. Jack had trained for years to fly the newest warships. He believed in protecting humanity's future in space, but now he felt fear and anger. He knew the colony's fall was only the start of a much bigger war. Jack sat in his small apartment staring at the message on his screen. His hands shook. The thought of the alien fleet returning kept him awake at night. He remembered the brave colonists who died defending New Hope. He promised himself he would not let that happen again. On Earth, scientists worked hard to learn more about the alien ships. They studied every piece of debris from the destroyed colony. Slowly, they discovered that the attackers were not just a random enemy. They were part of a powerful alien empire, one that had conquered many worlds before. This empire did not want peace or friendship. They wanted control. They wanted to destroy anyone who stood in their way. Humanity was now on their list. But Earth was not ready for war. Their weapons were old, and their warships few. The leaders knew they had to act fast. They started building a huge fleet of new warships, more than ever before. The goal was clear: defend Earth and prepare to fight back. In the meantime, families grieved the loss of the colony. They held vigils for the dead. They prayed for safety, and they waited for news of what would happen next. The sky over Earth was dark with worry, but deep inside, a small flame of hope still burned. Humanity had faced dangers before and survived. Now it was time to stand together once again. The secret message remained a mystery. It was a warning and a promise. Something bigger was coming. Jack Turner looked at the stars. He whispered, "We will be ready." After the terrible attack on New Hope, Earth was filled with fear, but also with determination. Leaders from every country came together. They made one big decision. Humanity must fight back. They began building the largest war fleet ever seen. 700,000 warships, ships of every size, fast fighters, massive battleships, and powerful carriers filled with weapons. Scientists worked day and night to create new technology, weapons that could cut through enemy shields, shields that could protect ships from deadly attacks, engines that could fly faster than ever before. In a secret base deep underground, Jack Turner trained harder than ever. He was chosen to be a pilot for the new fleet. Jack was young but skilled. He dreamed of flying the fastest fighter ship and leading missions to protect Earth. One day, Jack sat with his mentor, Captain Lee. "This won't be an easy fight," Captain Lee said. "The enemy is strong and smart, but we have one thing they don't." "What's that?" Jack asked. "Human spirit," Captain Lee smiled. "We never give up." Meanwhile, strange signals appeared in space. The enemy sent messages in a language no one could understand. They moved in ways that confused Earth's radar. The alien fleet was watching, waiting. Back on Earth, families watched the news with mixed feelings. Some were hopeful, others were scared. No one knew when the enemy would strike again. Jack's training became harder every day. He flew simulations of battles he hoped never to face. He made friends with other pilots, men and women ready to fight for humanity. One night, while Jack was alone, his comm beeped. A secret message appeared on his screen. "Prepare for war. The reckoning is near." Jack's heart pounded. The war was coming faster than anyone expected. He looked out the window at the stars. "We must be ready," he whispered. "For all of us." The new fleet was almost ready. 700,000 warships waited in space, shining like stars. But the enemy remained a mystery. Strange signals kept coming from deep space. Scientists tried to decode them, but the language was like nothing they had ever seen. The enemy's tactics were strange too. They attacked quickly, then disappeared. They never fought fair. Jack and his squadron were sent to scout a nearby star system. They hoped to learn more about the enemy. But what they found shocked them. It was not just one enemy race. It was a coalition, a group of different alien species all working together to destroy humanity. Each species had its own weapons and ships. Some were fast and small, others were huge and heavily armed. Their technology was strange, but deadly. During the mission, Jack's squadron was ambushed. Many ships were destroyed in minutes. Jack barely escaped. He felt the weight of the war on his shoulders. Back on Earth, leaders watched the reports in silence. The war would be longer and harder than they thought. But a new hope appeared. Scientists discovered a hidden weakness in the enemy's ships. If used right, it could turn the war around. Jack's next mission would be dangerous. He was chosen to lead the first attack using this secret knowledge. As Jack prepared, he looked at the stars and thought, "This is just the beginning. The real fight is coming." Earth was working faster than ever before. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers all raced against time. They were building a secret weapon, a powerful new technology that could change the course of the war. This weapon was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. It could destroy enemy fleets quickly, with minimal loss of life. But it was still risky. No one knew if it would work perfectly in battle. Jack Turner was chosen for the most important mission yet. He would pilot the new warship carrying this secret weapon. It was a great honor, but also a heavy responsibility. Before the mission, Jack met with the top commanders. "This weapon could end the war early," said Admiral Hayes. "But if it falls into enemy hands, it could mean disaster. We must keep it safe at all costs." Jack nodded. "I understand, sir. I won't fail." But the war was not just outside. Inside Earth's command, danger was closer than anyone knew. A spy had slipped into their ranks. Someone was passing secrets to the enemy, sabotaging efforts from within. Captain Lee, Jack's mentor, discovered strange anomalies in the fleet's plans. Ships went missing, Supplies were lost, and some communications were being hacked. He began to suspect a traitor. One night while Jack trained, Captain Lee pulled him aside. "Jack, you must be careful. Someone is working against us inside." Jack's heart pounded. "Who? How do we stop them?" "We don't know yet," Lee said. "But you must complete your mission before they find out." The day of the mission arrived. Jack climbed into the cockpit of the new warship, named Valor. The secret weapon was ready. As Valor moved through space, Jack's team prepared for battle. The enemy fleet was near a critical star system, one that could control access to many colonies. Suddenly, alarms blared. An unknown ship was approaching fast. An enemy scout? Or worse, a saboteur? Jack pushed Valor's engines to full power. The secret weapon hummed quietly beneath him, waiting to be used. Then a message appeared on Jack's screen. It was encrypted, but he could read part of it. "Stop the weapon, or all is lost." Jack's mind raced. Was this from the traitor? Was someone trying to stop him? The enemy ships closed in, firing beams of energy. Valor shook under the attack, but Jack stayed focused. With a deep breath, he activated the secret weapon. A bright pulse shot out, hitting enemy ships one by one. They exploded in a chain reaction, lighting up the darkness of space. But just as victory seemed near, Valor was hit by a sudden blast. Systems failed. Jack fought to control the ship as it spun wildly. Captain Lee's voice came over the comm. "Jack, fall back. We've been betrayed. Get out alive." Jack managed to escape the blast radius, but Valor was badly damaged. As he limped back to base, he wondered, who was the traitor? And how many more secrets would they lose before the war was over? Back on Earth, the leaders faced a terrible choice. Continue trusting their own, or risk losing everything to betrayal. Jack looked at the stars again. The war was far from over, and the greatest battle might be inside their own ranks. The war had spread beyond the colonies. The enemy fleet was moving closer to Earth's most important star systems. Battles were fought in the cold darkness of deep space far from any home planet. Jack Turner was now a trusted pilot and leader. His Valor warship was repaired and stronger than before. He led a squadron of fighters and battleships toward a vital star system called Epsilon Prime. It controlled the path to many human colonies. As they entered Epsilon Prime's orbit, enemy ships appeared suddenly. The battle began with flashing, beams of light and loud explosions that shook the emptiness of space. Ships collided and missiles flew in every direction. Jack dodged enemy fire, his heart racing. His squadron fought bravely, but the enemy was strong and used new, strange tactics. During the fight, Jack faced a terrible choice. His wingman's ship was hit and falling toward a deadly asteroid field. If Jack tried to save him, they both might be lost. If he continued the mission, the enemy could take control of the star system. Jack's mind raced. "I can't leave him behind," he thought. But the mission was too important. In a moment of courage, Jack flew toward his wingman's ship. He grabbed him just before the ship crashed into an asteroid. Together they escaped but lost precious time. When they returned, the enemy had gained ground. Jack's commanders were angry, but understood his choice. The battle continued for hours. Both sides suffered heavy losses. Ships exploded in the darkness, leaving trails of fire and smoke. In the middle of the chaos, Jack saw something new. A massive enemy ship appeared, a command vessel that controlled the fleet's tactics. If they destroyed it, the enemy fleet might fall apart. Jack decided to lead a daring attack on the command ship. It was risky, but they had no choice. With the help of his squadron, Jack approached the giant ship. Enemy fighters swarmed around them, trying to stop the attack. Explosions rocked Jack's ship, but he pressed forward. Using all his skill, he fired at the command vessel's weak spots. The ship started to break apart and enemy ships began to retreat. The battle was won, but the cost was high. Many brave pilots were lost, including some of Jack's closest friends. Back on Earth, the people heard the news. They celebrated the victory but mourned the dead. Jack felt the pain deeply. He knew this war would take more from humanity than anyone had imagined. As he looked at the stars, Jack whispered, "This is only the beginning. The real test is yet to come." The secret weapon had been used. The enemy's fleet was breaking apart in many places. Earth's ships were winning battles they once feared to fight. But just as hope grew stronger, a terrible truth was revealed. Scientists discovered something chilling. Earth was not the enemy's final target. The alien empire was much bigger and more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The destroyed fleets were just the front line. Far beyond the battle zones, a massive alien armada was moving toward humanity's homeworld, Earth itself. The real reckoning was about to begin. Jack Turner stood on the bridge of a flagship watching the stars. Messages came in. Ships reporting enemy movements, worlds falling under alien control. "This is not a war for colonies anymore," said Admiral Hayes. "This is a war for survival." Jack's heart pounded. He remembered the colonists lost. On New Hope, the battles fought in deep space, the friends who never returned. Now everything was on the line. Earth's entire fleet prepared for the biggest battle in history. 700,000 warships ready to defend their home. But fear and doubt grew too. Could humanity really stand against such a powerful enemy? Jack was given a secret mission to lead a small strike team deep into enemy space. Their goal: find and destroy the alien empire's homeworld command center. It was dangerous. If they failed, Earth would fall. Jack accepted without hesitation. He knew the future of humanity depended on their success. As the fleet moved closer to Earth's orbit, Jack's team prepared for the impossible. The stars seemed darker, heavier. The reckoning was here. Jack whispered to himself, "We will fight. We will survive." The final battle had begun. Jack Turner's strike team flew deep into enemy space, past dangerous asteroid fields and hostile patrols. Their target was the alien empire's command center, the heart of the enemy's power. The ship shook as enemy fighters swarmed around them. Lasers cut through the blackness. Jack's team fought fiercely, but losses were heavy. When they reached the command center, it was guarded by massive defenses, powerful shields, giant turrets, and thousands of enemy ships. Jack looked at his team. "This is it," he said. "We either destroy them now or lose everything." With courage and skill, they attacked the shields. The secret weapon Jack once used was their only hope. Slowly, the shields began to fail. Inside the command center, the alien leaders realized their empire was under threat. They sent waves of fighters to stop Jack's team. Explosions rocked the battlefield. Jack's ship took heavy damage, but he kept fighting. His team worked together, pushing through the enemy's last defenses. Finally, Jack reached the core of the command center. He fired the secret weapon one last time. A brilliant light exploded, destroying the command center and sending a shockwave through the enemy fleet. Without their command center, the alien empire began to fall apart. Ships fled in every direction. Back at Earth, people watched the news in awe and relief. Humanity had survived the greatest threat it had ever faced. Jack's team returned as heroes, but the war had changed everyone. Admiral Hayes spoke to the fleet. "Today we proved that humanity will never give up. We are strong, we are united, we are survivors." Jack looked at the stars, feeling both sadness and hope. The war was over. But the universe was still vast and unknown. Humanity had won this battle, but the future held many more challenges. Jack smiled, ready for whatever came next.